Welcome to my channel. This is Hazel, your lady engineer. Just actively living life to the fullest. Hey, there. We are back for another adventure. We are going to climb Mount Kinabalu, Malaysia's highest mountain. If you want to know how we booked our Mount Kinabalu climb, you can check my other video in the description below. Our climb operator is Amazing Borneo. Our call time is 6 a.m. and 15 minutes before. Our group van is already in front of the hotel waiting for us. It's a 2-hour ride going to Kota Kinabalu Park, and there are no stops along the way. You will never be bored, and you will be amazed by the scenic views. At last, here we are now at Kota Kinabalu Park. You can leave your non-hiking stuff here at Sutera Sanctuary Lodges for 24 Malaysian ringgit. For those doing the Ferrata, make sure to stop by this booth here to ensure your certificate has your correct information.
Maybe we misspelled your name, and if you have any preferred certificate name, you can write it here. If there is no changes, you want to follow the original one, just signature here.
Signature.
We were then greeted by our tour guide, Rob, and he handed out our IDs and packed lunch. We were fetched by a van from the park to Pendant Gate. So we have arrived at Pendant Gate. We bought burgers here since we haven't had our breakfast. You will then be required to accomplish the climber's checklist. Wear your ID at all times.
Okay, morning. So welcome to Mount Kinabalu. So my name is Robney, you just call Rob. Yeah. Okay, so today we have 6 kilometers and we stay at the Pendant. Take time 20 minutes or 30 minutes like that. Okay? So hour to take here 4-5 hours. That's normal time. So we're gonna arrive here before 4 because you still have a briefing. Start 4 o'clock. If you late to arrive here, you miss the briefing and you cannot join the Ferrata tomorrow. So only summit tomorrow morning. Okay? So we're gonna only look the time and we can get it tomorrow morning. Okay? So I think that's all.
Mount Kinabalu stands at 4,101 meters above sea level and is the tallest mountain in Borneo and one of the highest in Southeast Asia. On day 1, hikers start at Pendant Gate, ascending to Panalaban Basecamp to stay overnight. You will pass by several shelters or pondocks, where you can rest for a while or take CR breaks. Candice Shelter is first stop at 1 kilometer mark. After 2 kilometers is the Yuba Shelter. Then, observe the squirrels, tree shrews, and birds that seem so unafraid of climbers. Stop at these shelters, take a rest. Lowe's Peak is the highest point. The best month to climb Mount Kinabalu is during March to September, where there is a lower chance of rain. The Kadazandusan people, the largest ethnic group in Sabah, calls this mountain Mount Kinabalu, a Kadazan word which means the adored place of the dead. They believe that it is the home of their ancestors' spirits. Day 1 hike is mainly stairs and rocky terrain. From Timpahan Gate, the route is well marked with signs marking the trail. Every kilometer you will pass by rocky surfaces and a lot of stairs, mainly stone steps with a couple of wooden staircases. The climb to the summit is 8.72 kilometers long, with an elevation gain of 2,300 meters. Climbers can only complete this for 2 days. Near 4 kilometers on the Timpahan Trail is the Layang Layang or Swallow's Place, where most hikers stop to have their lunch. They gave us bananas, sandwich and egg for lunch. It is where you will see a pathway to the old Mezalo Trail, which is now closed and inaccessible after the earthquake. Here they are constructing a new shelter. The trail at this point is a forest which has a stunted growth. As you follow the trail upward, a superb view can be seen of Mount Kinabalu towering above. Next stop is the Panalaban Basecamp, where the last 500 meter to 1 kilometer is steep and very rocky. Now we have arrived at Panalaban Basecamp, the final pit stop before ascending to the Lowe's Peak summit. Here you will spend the night and recharge for the next day. There are 4 lodges at Panalaban, namely Laban Rata Rest House, Pendant Hut, Panalaban Hostel, and Lima Ing Hut. We stopped here to take a rest and use the comfort rooms. Then another hike again to reach Pendant Hut. greeted by a long flight of stairs on our way to Pendant Hut. We will stay the night here at Pendant Hut. This accommodation is prioritized for Via Ferrata climbers. It offers a variety of lodgings from private rooms to unisex dormitory bunk beds. Most of the rooms are non-heated unisex dormitory bunk beds with a common bathroom. Sleeping bags are provided. It has a pantry here where you can have unlimited coffee. The power supply in Panalaban comes from a generator set and shared among all the accommodations in Panalaban. The available generated electricity is very limited. Hot showers are not available. We had our Via Ferrata training here at Pendant Hut. A team of professional climbers will orient you about the two Via Ferrata routes, Walk the Torque and Lowe's Peak Circuit. It is a must for all Via Ferrata climbers to attend this. If you fail to do so, you will not be allowed to proceed with Via Ferrata. They will inform you of the safety precautions, how to wear harness and how to navigate your way into the attached cables and ropes. We will now head to Laban Rata Rest House for our sumptuous dinner. Panalaban only has one restaurant, located inside Laban Rata Rest House. They have multiple choices of viands. After eating, you can catch the sunset and take a picture here at their view deck. Day 2, and we have to wake up early. It is a very early start with climbers starting at around 2 a.m. climbing to Lowe's Peak to make it for sunrise. You can't really see much during the hike, except for the light beams of the hikers in front of you, trekking higher and higher the mountain. The trail started with numerous flights of stairs, and eventually turned into rocky paths. The climb is very steep. It is only 2.7 kilometers to the summit, with an increase in elevation of 800 m. As we ascended, we found ourselves taking deeper and longer breaths due of the lower oxygen levels. After about an hour hiking, you will reach final shelter, Sayat Hut. You will once again be checked for IDs and permits to ensure that you can receive your Mount Kinabalu certificate. Guide ropes were attached to assist climbers. There is a lot of scrambling on this part. Some sections are really steep and you need to hold on to the ropes to get up over the surfaces. We finally reached Lowe's Peak, the summit of Mount Kinabalu. It was still dark though. There is a long queue of climbers waiting for their turn at the summit, so you have to be mindful of the time you spend at the top taking pictures. Going down, the other peaks become more visible. The South Peak, Alexandra Peak and St. John's Peak. We were greeted by the sunrise and a thin sea of clouds. We then proceeded to our Via Ferrata climb. The Via Ferrata is done after reaching the summit. If you do the normal hike, you will start going down after reaching the summit. But if you have opted for the Via Ferrata, you will do the additional activity after reaching the summit, before they head down the mountain. All Via Ferrata participants are accompanied by a mountain torque trainer at all times. You must reach the starting point of the Ferrata by 7:30 a.m. I've heard that they're really very strict, and even if you're 1 minute late, they will not allow you to do the Ferrata. Mount Kinabalu has the highest Via Ferrata route in the world and is renowned for its spectacular views. A Via Ferrata, meaning iron road in Italian, is a protected mountain pathway consisting of rails, cables, and bridges on the steep rock face. By using the Via Ferrata, steep rock faces that can normally only be climbed by mountaineers and rock climbers with experience can be climbed by anyone of average fitness. The route has a length of 1.2 kilometers and an increase in elevation of 365 meters. The Mount Kinabalu Via Ferrata has two routes, Walk the Torque and Lowe's Peak Circuit. Lowe's Peak Circuit is the more difficult route. No climbing experience is required to attempt either of the routes. Me and my husband took the Lowe's Peak Circuit, which is 3 times longer than the Walk the Torque route.
Yap, ini ada terus.
The Lowe's Peak Circuit will eventually connect to the Walk the Torque, and hence you won't miss out on anything. We descended back to Pendant Hut for our lunch. We met up with Rob, who had been patiently waiting for us to return, and started the long and arduous descent. We descended on the same trail we climbed up. Luckily, we made it to the last bus leaving Kota Kinabalu Park, and this will send us off to our hotels. We received 2 certificates. One from the Via Ferrata activity and one from the summit climb. They also gave our last packed food before heading home. Our Kinabalu climb was a one-of-a-kind experience. We encourage you experience it too.